Today's lesson is about double angle identities. Double angle means if you know trig function of theta, you can get the trig function of 2 theta. Therefore, you can check the formula. See, this is a theta, then you multiply by 2. We call this is a double angle. For this formula, see, all this is a theta. Then you can get the 2 theta. Here is a theta. You can get the 2 theta. Theta, you can get the 2 theta. In other words, if you know trig function of 2 theta, you can get the 4 theta. If you are given trig function of 3 theta, you can get trig function of 6 theta. If you are given theta over 2, you can get the trig function of theta. If you are given trig function of theta over 4, you can get double angle, that is the theta over 2. This is for sine 2 theta equals 2 sine theta cosine theta. Let's analyze this formula. First of all, both sides we divided by 2. Then you can get the sine theta cosine theta equals 1/2 sine 2 theta. Try to remember this formula. Also from here, we can get sine 4 theta. You will get 2 sine 2 theta cosine 2 theta. You just need to make this angle divided by 2 so that you will get this new formula. Same thing for sine 6 theta. You will get the 2 sine 3 theta and cosine 3 theta. And let's analyze this formula. We have sine theta cosine theta equals 1/2 sine 2 theta. What if we have sine 2 theta cosine 2 theta? You will get the 1/2 sine 4 theta. Make this angle multiply by 2. Then for sine 3 theta cosine 3 theta, you will get 1/2 sine 6 theta. Keep going, sine 4 theta cosine 4 theta. You will get 1/2 sine 8 theta. What if we have sine theta over 2 cosine theta over 2? You will get 1/2 sine theta. If you have sine theta over 4 cosine theta over 4, you will get 1/2 sine theta over 2. Now let's analyze this formula. First of all, we do know that cosine square theta plus sine square theta equals to 1. Then you can remember cosine square theta minus sine square theta equals to cosine 2 theta. Also, if you have sine square theta minus cosine square theta, you will get negative cosine 2 theta. Try to remember these two twisted form from this formula. And for this one, cosine 2 theta equals 2 cosine square theta minus 1. Therefore, you can get the cosine 4 theta equals 2 cosine square 2 theta minus 1. Then for cosine 6 theta, you will get 2 cosine square 3 theta minus 1. And what if you have a cosine theta? You will get 2 cosine square theta over 2 minus 1. Just double this angle. So keep going. Cosine theta over 2 equals 2 cosine square theta over 4 minus 1. For this formula, we have a cosine 2 theta equals 1 minus 2 sine square theta. We call this is a double angle identities, which means so for cosine 4 theta equals 1 minus 2 sine square 2 theta. For cosine 6 theta equals 1 minus 2 sine square 3 theta. For cosine theta equals 1 minus 2 sine square theta over 2. Let's go to part 3. Find the exact value when secant alpha equals negative square root of 5 over 2. Alpha is between pi and 3 pi over 2. That is a third quadrant. For third quadrant, we know CST. All students take calculus. This will be negative, negative, positive. You are given secant alpha equals negative square root of 5 over 2. First of all, you need to change into major trig function. That is a cosine alpha equals negative 2 over square root of 5. You can simplify into negative 2 square root of 5 over 5. Then we can get the sine alpha. Because sine is negative, that's why we will get the negative square root. 1 minus cosine square alpha. I plug in, you will get negative 1 minus. I will plug in this one. So it's easier. You will get negative 2 over square root of 5, then square. And you will get negative square root 1 minus 4 over 5. Then you will get negative 1 over square root of 5, or simplify, it will be negative square root of 5 over 5. Then you can get the tangent alpha. That equals sine alpha over cosine alpha equals, I will plug in this one and this one, negative 1 over square root of 5, negative 2 over square root of 5. Square root of 5, square root of 5 as denominator for this complex fraction reduce. You will get 1 over 2. Then I will write down what we got so far. Now I can work out this sine 2 alpha. According to the formula, that is 2 sine alpha cosine alpha. That is 2. I will use this value because it's easier. Times negative 1 over square root of 5 times negative 2 square root of 5. That is square root of 5 times square root of 5 is 5. negative negative will be positive, so you get the 4 over 5. For cosine 2 alpha, I will use 2 cosine square alpha minus 1, so that you will get the 2 times negative 2 over square root of 5 square minus 1. That equals 2 times 4 over 5 minus 1, so that you will get the 8 over 5 minus 1. Change this 1 into 5 over 5. You will get 3 over 5. For tangent to alpha, I will get 4 over 5 over 3 over 5, because this is a sine to alpha. Here is a cosine to alpha. That equals 4 over 3. Sine 4 alpha, I will use 2 times sine 2 alpha cosine 2 alpha. Then you will get 2 times sine 2 alpha is 4 over 5. And then times cosine 2 alpha will be 3 over 5. Final answer will be 24 over 25. Cosine 4 alpha equals. There are 3 formulas for you to choose. I just randomly choose 1 minus 2 sine square 2 alpha. So we plug in, you will get 1 minus 2 times sine square 2 alpha, that is 4 over 5 square. Then equals 1 minus, this is a 16. 16 times 2 is a 32. Here is a 25. You can change 1 into 25 over 25 so that you will get the negative 7 over 25. Let's try to figure out sine 3 alpha and cosine 3 alpha. We will use this compound angle identities to figure this out. For sine 3 alpha, I can write down sine alpha plus 2 alpha. Then I will use this formula, that is SCCS. The sign will be the same. So for this sine alpha plus 2 alpha, I will use SC plus CS, which means sine alpha cosine 2 alpha plus cosine alpha sine 2 alpha. Therefore, we plug in sine alpha, that is negative square root of 5 over 5, and times cosine 2 alpha, that is 3 over 5, plus cosine alpha, that is negative 2 square root of 5 over 5, times sine 2 alpha is 4 over 5. Your denominator will be 25. Your top, here 3 times negative square root of 5 is negative 3 square root of 5. Negative 2 square root of 5 times 4, that is minus 8 square root of 5. So we simplify, that is negative 11 square root of 5 over 25. Let's go to cosine 3 alpha. We write down cosine alpha plus 2 alpha. Using this formula, that is CCSS, the sign will be different. Therefore, we will write down CCSS. This is a minus here. So that you will get the cosine alpha cosine 2 alpha minus sine alpha sine 2 alpha. We plug in cosine alpha, that is negative 2 square root of 5 over 5 times cosine 2 alpha is 3 over 5 minus sine alpha is negative square root of 5 over 5 times sine 2 alpha is 4 over 5. Your denominator is 25. So negative 2 square root of 5 times 3 is negative 6 square root of 5. For 4 times negative square root of 5 is negative 4 square root of 5, but negative will be a positive. So I add 4 square root of 5. Then I simplify. You will get a negative 2 square root of 5 over 25.